two very good goalkeepers. And who's the third goalkeeper?
Right. So Trafford.
Trafford, yeah, yeah.
Trafford.
Man
Yeah.
City, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then defenders. Guess who's top on the list?
Well, Marc Guehi is there for a start.
That's it. Marc Guehi.
Yeah,
Yeah. He
yeah.
can never not pick
He's
Marc Guehi.
yeah, he's really positioned himself now at the top of, as I say, as you say, the first choice defender. His name is first on the team sheet, probably as
Yeah.
at Palace. But I read the other day as well that both Real Madrid and Barcelona are considering bids in January. So his fame is spreading across Europe now, and
Yeah.
possibly further afield than that. So it is inevitable we're going to lose him, which is a great shame from Palace's point of view. But that's the nature of the beast. If you're a club with a more limited turnover because we don't have a particularly big ground and you've got to stay on the right side of the financial fair play rules,
Yeah.
like other clubs, we're essentially a bit of a feeder club, which is
Mm.
frustrating because we feel we want to keep the best players. But once we produce players like Eze, Guéhi, Walton, we picked him up, didn't we, from the championship, and he's a world-class footballer. Interestingly, at the end of the game on Sunday, I saw it later in the day on TV. The man of the match for that game against Everton was Grealish, and he scored a goal near the end. I was a bit lucky because it was kicked by our defender onto him. But anyway, he was supposedly man of the match, and he actually said to the interviewer, he said actually the real man of the match was Adam Walton. He said he was brilliant all the way through, which I thought was a gracious thing for him to say. But yeah, so I'm surprised Adam Walton isn't in the team. I am, but undoubtedly in a year, probably the end of this season, he'll probably go for like 90 or 100 million, because you can see the big clubs snap up these jewels that are discovered often by clubs like Palace or Brighton or others. And we just wish we could hang on to them, because it doesn't, ultimately it might appear like a lack of ambition, but I don't think it's that. On the part of the club's owners. I think it's just, we recognise that if you're offered a huge amount of money for a player who's nearing the end of his contract, you want to take it, because if they get to the end of their contract, they go for nothing anyway.
Yeah, true.
So that's. I think Walton will be next on the list after Guéhi.
Well,
sadly.
For transfers, you mean? Right. So next on the list here, we've got LEWIS-SKELLY, Arsenal's LEWIS-SKELLY. Now we have KONSA, John Stones. John Stones, I read, was almost quit, almost retired last season because of injuries.
Yeah, he was injured.
Which would have been a shame, really, because he's a really good player, John Stones. So we got KONSA, Spence, O'Reilly, and then Burn. Burn. And then we have Declan Rice, Rogers of Aston Villa, Eze. If you're glad to know,
he's there.
Eze.
Yeah.
GIBBS-WHITE, Anderson. Now I don't know this Anderson. Do you know this Anderson?
Yeah, he's trying to think. He played in the last England game. It was probably his debut then.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what his club is. Is he Newcastle? I can't quite remember.
He's in the same club with GIBBS-WHITE. Is that Newcastle?
No, it's not Newcastle, is it? No. Not Newcastle, is it? No, it's not.
No.
We should know. It just slipped my mind. But
right. So
check up on that one.
LOFTUS-CHEEK. Uh,
Loftus-Cheek. I mean, I think he plays out in Italy, doesn't he? He's actually the one who Tuchel has brought back instead of playing Walton. So I was a bit sore about what Loftus-Cheek. He came to Palace from Chelsea on a year's loan
right?
3 4 years ago, and he was very very good.
Was
He's
it?
a he's a class act. It's something I was something about him. He was very good at shielding the ball. It's difficult to describe that apart from in that way.
Mm,
He was difficult to shake off the ball. Put it that way. He had a good football brain, quite clearly, and he was always a threat coming from midfield through to possibly score as well. So I like him as a footballer. I do, although he hasn't played much for England in recent times, nor really have we seen him playing in England for some
mm.
time. But obviously Tuchel has kept an eye on him and thinks he's worth putting in the team. But I was slightly surprised, even allowing for my bias, I suppose, which I don't think I'm applying in this case, but I
Yeah,
was surprised he put him in instead of Adam Moulton, because Adam Moulton, I think, is going to have a far longer future in the England team than
that's
maybe
it. Yeah, yeah,
Loftus-Cheek. But he's a very good player, so I
yeah.
don't really have any problem with him being there at all.
That was the same thing I thought. I thought about the longevity of it, long run. Walton is got youth on his side, so he can develop and be a permanent feature
Yeah,
uh, for long.
absolutely.
Yeah, right. So we have Jordan Henderson. What do you make of Jordan Henderson?
Well, again, I remember in his Liverpool days, excuse me, in the Liverpool days, he was a good captain. He was I wouldn't say he controlled the midfield, but he was always a very good passer of the ball. He spotted good openings and stuff like that. Very creative,
Mm,
and I liked him at Liverpool because he went out to, excuse me, he went out to Saudi, um, and didn't really settle there. I don't think, or his family, so they sort of came back.
mm,
I'm kind of surprised that he's picked for England at the moment. No
mm,
disrespect to him,
mm.
but in a way, you'd think, having gone from Liverpool 2 or 3 years ago, his best days are behind him. And again, I'm not sure that picking players like Henderson, good player though he is really planning for the future. It's what we've just said about
Yeah,
Loftus-Cheek in a way, but
yeah.
particularly with Henderson because he's that bit older.
Mm.
And so I'm a bit surprised, but I think he's probably what I think he is good at, things I've read before, is